Hello, my name is Esmer. I'm a fourth-year biological sciences student at the U of A. Today, I would like to present my sustainability project in which I explore the benefits of crop diversification through comparison of industrial and diversified farming systems. The objective of my project is to raise awareness for the more sustainable and beneficial diversified farming practices. There are numerous advantages to diversified farming, which I will explore today. Contrastingly, industrial farming is a more popular farming practice that is extremely unsustainable in many areas, such as the large contributions to climate change. Industrial agriculture is a widely used method of farming that involves unsustainable use of resources, which largely contributes to air and water pollution through fossil fuel emissions. Industrial agriculture also contributes to deforestation and biodiversity decline. Industrial farming consumes fossil fuels at an unsustainable rate, which leads to environmental degradation. Biodiversity is reduced exponentially by industrial agriculture. There are reports of fish die-off, soil depletion, and of course, air and water pollution. Water contamination is a huge issue in water reservoirs near industrial farms. This contributes to the loss of biodiversity through the poisoning of organisms living in the water. Diversified farming relies on crop diversification to maintain and increase biodiversity, improve soil fertility, pest and disease control, water use efficiency, and an overall reduction in harmful emissions. This diagram exhibits the different areas that crop diversity improves compared to non-diversified crops, such as those seen in industrial agriculture. There is a significant increase in soil fertility, crop yield, nutrient cycling, climate and water regulation, pest control, and biodiversity overall. There are many advantages of using diversified farming. In my project, I focused on 4 main advantages. Resource scarcity is becoming an increasing concern. Industrial farming contributes largely to climate change, which can lead to reduced access to oil, water, and other essential resources necessary to feed the population. Diversified farming systems are a sustainable alternative that can reduce the harmful effects of industrial farming through utilization of ecological diversification in order to replenish ecosystem services, which are detrimentally affected by industrial farming. Environmental resiliency is increased through crop diversification. There was a study done by Berthal and Hazrana which assessed the impact of rainfall deficit and heat stress of resource productivity in India. The researchers assessed crop diversification and observed whether there was a positive difference seen in the resiliency of diversified crops. In their study, they noted the importance of crop resilience in developing countries, which are more susceptible to climatic shock that exhibit a negative impact on their food production. They are highly dependent on agriculture. Furthermore, affected crops lead to slow economic growth and poverty, which is a common trend in developing countries. Diversified farming systems work harmoniously with components of agrobiodiversity to facilitate soil building, nitrogen fixation, pest and disease suppression, nutrient cycling, as well as other factors needed to build a sustainable environment. The term agrobiodiversity refers to living organisms that contribute to cultivation of crops through their contributions to food and agriculture. Intercropping is a process involved in agrobiodiversity. Through intercropping, agrobiodiversity produces a large amount of crops relative to monocultures. Intercropping has been proven to increase production of crops. This is because when grown together, the different types of crops cooperate and facilitate growth through access of excess nutrients. One study revealed that the growth of polycultures caused different crops to reach different soil depths to avoid competition with neighboring plants. Additionally, intercropping allows for weed control. In a study conducted by Kremen and Miles, monocultures had 87% higher weed biomass than polycultures. Similarly, studies have shown that polycultures reduce pest densities by 64%. This is likely due to the abundance of diverse natural enemy communities found in more genetically complex crops. Disease control is another area that is improved through diversification. The diverse populations found in polyculture seem to regulate the number of pathogens found in the environment. Although there is a clear advantage to adopting DFS, there is a large pushback seen from the farming population. Researchers hypothesize that the reason for this resistance against DFS is economic. The machinery used by industrial farmers reduces labor costs. Diversified farming systems have been described as a more environmentally sustainable alternative. Unfortunately, it only represents a small amount of farms around the world. Some researchers believe that there needs to be economic incentives put in place to promote DFS. Diversified farming systems are an incredible investment for farmers to make. There are numerous advantages of adopting this method over industrial agriculture, such as the advantages I have discussed in this presentation. The low adoption of DFS is thought to be due to the lack of incentives that aim to educate and urge farmers to practice sustainable farming via diversified farming. Here are my references. Thank you so much for listening.